Oh, geez, that ever come up gloomy on the camera? Okay, guys, I thought it was right. It's not. It's like stuff that shall rename name. Oh, check out that old truck. Cool. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm just waiting for my buddy. I had friggin' what do you call it? Lottery ticket people in front of me today at the gas station. So it's like normally he's here by now, but he might be a little bit late today. So it was whatever. I don't hear any brush hogging over there, so yeah. So he's probably just not here yet. Uh, anyway, anywho, last night Ankor put out another video, chapter 7. I thought it was only going to be 6 chapters, but no, it's chapter 7. And if you haven't seen that video series, like I even want to make a video on. I don't like looking over there because I see snow. That is so depressing. I don't want to see that today. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be working in snow today. Anyway, but anyway, that whole series is really, the story's really good. But what a plot twist last night is like, the band. I mean, they're. I don't know what you'd really put. There's sort of like a dance deathcore band. It's dance metal. It's the best way I could put it. Anyway, chapter 1. If you haven't watched it, there's gonna be some spoiler alerts. So chapter 1 was called Dark Beat, and that's where basically the guitar player. I don't know if they're actually. If these two are romantically involved in real life, but because if they're not, they're pretty convincing. You know what I mean? Anyway, the guitar player, he gets killed by the bass player. Basically, the bass player is a thug, and he goes and he robs them, and he shoots the guy. I thought he stabbed the guy, but he shoots the guy. So this is the journey of this woman. This appears to be a widow. Going through all the anguish of having the love of her life taken away. So in the first one, it's the tragedy of that. The second one is called Prisoner, and that's kind of like the immediate aftermath of the loss, where she basically ends it all, right? Or attempts to end it all. I'll just because I can't say the word, because of the algorithms. And then in the third one, it's called Oblivion, where she's kind of like in like a dream state, but then she wakes up in the hospital and she realizes what's happened. So kind of like trying to escape the horror of losing the love of her life, right? So it's pretty good story. Like, you got to sit there and actually watch the videos a few times, and you get new details every time you watch, little nuances. So fascinating. And then the fourth one is her trying to, like the immediate kind of try to cope with it, like the mixed emotions of called Stereo, and it's basically the other guitar player. That guy cracks me up watching him live. Like, that guy looks like he has so much fun. But anyway, he's kind of like the dark angel on one shoulder, and then there's this other girl that kind of like the reasonable, no, you should do this and not that, right? And so it's like just kind of like her emotions kind of like ripping her apart inside because of this is the stress of all this, right? So she goes out to a nightclub, and the bass player, who's the murderer, walks into the nightclub, and then she recognizes him or whatever, and then it ends with her running out of the club and him chasing her, right? And then of course there's Venom, which is chapter 5, which is the most insane song ever, and that's basically the bass player and her get into a struggle because I guess he's trying to like get rid of the eyewitness or whatever, but she smacks him with a pipe and ends up she's like conflicted whether she's going to kill the guy or not because he killed her, the love of her life, right? She doesn't. She was going to throw him off a dam, but she doesn't. And Venom is a brilliant song. It's absolutely brilliant. And then right after Venom, there's Ambers, which is an insanely good song. And it basically is it shows her as a bride and shows her as a widow, and like just that torment, right? And that's where it ended. And I thought that's where that whole storyline would end. And then last night, I'm probably going to butcher the title of it. It's called Shogani. I think it's a Japanese term. Apparently, at the end of the video, it explains it as for somebody that's like either overwhelmed by a situation or at a loss of a situation or whatever, and they find resolve and peace at the end of it. You know what I mean? So like just coming to terms basically with a situation, which is all the stages of grievance. But this one, it was like totally different from all the other stuff. But there's some real touching moments in the song. It's like, oh my God, that's good. And then it leaves it at, okay, well, where's this character going next? And it's like, I hope they carry this story on. I love concept albums. I think that's the coolest thing you can do, because it's hard. It's got to be hard to write like that, because like what the lead singer, what she was saying was like they didn't intend that at the beginning. Like they wrote the songs or whatever, and then it just kind of, they wrote like the first 6 chapters or whatever, and then it's just like this story just kind of came out of it. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, so I can imagine they had to go back and tweak things. It's like, okay, well, now we're going to try this now, but where do you go next, right? So the new song is kind of completely different. Like it's, like I say, it's dance metal is the simplest way I can explain it. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. But it was really cool that they did that, that there's a chapter 7. So that kind of made my evening last night. It's like, oh, right on. Especially after I just finished recording 2 of my own songs. Tonight I'm going to see, well, we'll see how much energy I have, but I'm going to see if I can get a guitar track down with the Flying V. I've done quite a bit of 7-string stuff in the past few recordings, even though the 7-string's kind of becoming my main guitar. Just because it's just ever since I've played it live, even though, using like an acoustic guitar, so to speak, yeah, it was plugged in, but, like playing it all clean, whatever. It's like there's just dimensions that come out of the 7-string. But I wanted to record something really flashy and whatever, so I grabbed the guitar with the shorter scale length, and we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention I enjoying the video, what they're doing with those videos, the concept of it. The new one is kind of like it's a complete, if you watch chapter 1 through 7, start with Dark Beat and then just really pay attention to the details and then read the lyrics. For some people, they might want to read the lyrics first. I don't know, you choose. But it's more of a surprise if you listen to it and then read the lyrics and just watch it nonstop, then go back and watch it again and then move on to the next chapter. And then you're probably going to end up watching it over and over a few times just to get more stuff out of it. But very cool. A lot of songs coming out right now. I guess this is the time of year where everybody puts out all their new songs, and then they put all the songs out now, and then when spring rolls around, they go on tour again, something like that. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make that video because I was just like, I want to talk about that because I enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed it, and the whole series is called Ankor. Well, it's spoil, like I said, I kind of spoil it for someone, but it's Ankor. Like I say, start with Dark Beat, chapter 1 to 7. Each chapter is a different song, if you haven't figured that out. But yeah, go and enjoy that. It was really, really, really good, really good. I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this. Anyway, there we go.